The chamber fell silent as Ambassador Chen walked through the crystalline doors of the Galactic Council headquarters. Her footsteps echoed against the vaulted ceiling, each tap a reminder that humanity stood alone among 1,000 species who had already made their judgment. High Chancellor Vexthor, a towering being of scales and wisdom accumulated over 3 centuries, regarded her with something between pity and contempt. The Council had summoned humanity to answer a simple question. Would Earth join the coalition against the Devourers, or would they continue their shameful neutrality? Ambassador Chen. Vexthor's voice resonated through translation devices embedded in every seat. Your species has enjoyed the protection of this council for 47 standard years. The Devourers approach the Orion Spur. They will reach human space within 2 cycles, yet you refuse to mobilize. We can only conclude that humanity fears war. A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembled delegates. The Krill representative, resembling a floating jellyfish of bioluminescent beauty, pulsed with colors that translated to disdain. The Leonine Prax delegation growled their approval. Even the peaceful harmonizers of Kepler 442b, who had never raised a weapon in their 3,000-year history, seemed disappointed. Chen stood at the podium, her face unreadable. She had been chosen for this moment not because she was humanity's best diplomat, but because she was one of the few humans who had served in the military before first contact. She understood something the others didn't. High Chancellor, she began, her voice steady and clear. Humanity does not fear war. Vexthor's eyes narrowed. Then explain your inaction. The Devourers have consumed 17 civilizations. They leave nothing but empty worlds and broken dreams. Every species has committed forces to stop them. Every species except yours. We haven't committed forces, Chen said, because we were waiting for something. Waiting? The Krill delegate's colors shifted to confusion. Waiting for what? For the Devourers to reach your homeworld? For us to protect you while you cower behind our fleets? Chen smiled, and there was something in that smile that made several delegates shift uncomfortably. It wasn't the smile of someone afraid. It was the smile of someone who had seen things others couldn't imagine. We were waiting, she said, for you to ask the right question. She pressed a button on her datapad. The holographic display at the center of the chamber flickered to life, showing Earth floating in the darkness of space. But this wasn't the peaceful blue marble the Council remembered from their first encounter with humanity. This was something else. Thousands of ships surrounded the planet. Warships unlike anything the galaxy had seen, bristling with weapons that made the Council's dreadnoughts look like children's toys. Massive orbital fortresses, each one capable of generating firepower equivalent to an entire fleet. And in the asteroid belt, construction facilities that stretched for millions of kilometers, churning out more vessels every hour. The chamber erupted in chaos. Impossible, the Prax delegate roared. We monitor all military buildups. Our sensors would have detected— Your sensors detected exactly what we wanted them to detect, Chen interrupted. Did you really think a species that split the atom before leaving our own planet wouldn't understand stealth technology? We've been building this fleet since the day we learned about the Devourers. 3 years ago. Vexthor leaned forward, his massive frame suddenly tense. Then why hide it? Why let us believe you were defenseless? Because we needed to know something first. Chen's expression hardened. We needed to know if the Galactic Council truly understood what war means. She changed the display. Now it showed historical records from Earth. Battles that made the Council's conflicts look like minor skirmishes. The Somme, Stalingrad, the Siege of Baghdad. The resource wars of the 21st century. Images of humans fighting with a ferocity that made several delegates look away. You see, Chancellor, humanity doesn't fear war. We fear ourselves at war. Chen's voice carried the weight of centuries of human conflict. Before we met you, we spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing each other. We are very, very good at it, too good. We've weaponized everything from diseases to weather patterns. We've written poetry about destruction and painted masterpieces of battlefields. Wars woven into our DNA in ways you cannot comprehend. The harmonizer delegate spoke for the first time, its musical voice trembling. Then, why the hesitation? Because we needed to be sure you understood what you were asking for. Chen looked at each delegate in turn. When humanity goes to war, we don't just fight. We optimize. We innovate. We escalate. We turn war into an industry, a science, an art form. We needed to know if the Galactic Council was ready for that. ready for humans who don't just want to defeat the Devourers, but who will study them, understand them, and develop 17 different ways to end their existence permanently. She pulled up another display, showing deployment plans. Human fleets weren't positioned defensively. They were positioned to strike deep into Devourer territory, to hunt them across the galaxy if necessary. The Devourers have been active for 2,000 years, Chen continued. They've consumed 17 civilizations, and the Council has been fighting a defensive war, barely holding them back. Do you know why? Because you fight to survive, humans. We fight to win, and winning for us means total victory. No compromises, no half measures. Complete and utter destruction of the enemy's ability to threaten anyone ever again. Vexthor was silent for a long moment. When he finally spoke, his voice was quiet. You are asking us to unleash something we may not be able to control. No, Chen corrected. We're asking you to trust that we can control ourselves. After 10,000 years of warfare, we've learned something important. When to stop. When to show mercy. When to rebuild instead of destroy. But make no mistake, we haven't forgotten how to wage total war. We've just chosen not to unless absolutely necessary. She straightened, her eyes blazing with determination. The Devourers made it necessary. So I ask you, High Chancellor, not if humanity will join the coalition. I ask you if the Galactic Council is ready to join humanity's war. The silence that followed was deafening. Then slowly, Vexthor rose to his full height. For the first time since Chen had met him, he bowed his head in respect. Ambassador Chen, he said, on behalf of the Galactic Council, we would be honored to fight alongside humanity, and may the universe have mercy on the Devourers because clearly you will not. Chen nodded once. You're right about that, Chancellor. We won't. As she left the chamber, she sent a single encrypted message to Earth Command. Operation Prometheus is a go. Show them what humans do best. Behind her, the Council began preparing for a war unlike any they had ever known, one led not by species who feared the fight, but by a species that had been born in fire and had learned to make that fire their own. The Devourers were about to learn a lesson that humanity had taught itself over millennia of brutal warfare. There is nothing more dangerous in the universe than a species that has mastered the art of war and chosen peace, only to be forced back into battle. The galaxy would never be the same.